exactly right. You have your Bibles turned to Nehemiah chapter 1. We're going to look at verses 1 to 4. Now there's a bunch more here in Nehemiah, but we're just going to look at 4 chapters. So we need a little history first of what's going on. Around 587 years before Christ, the Babylonians invaded Judah and destroyed the city of Jerusalem along with the temple. About 70 years later, King Cyrus of Persia gave the Jews permission to return to Jerusalem to rebuild the temple under the leadership of Zerubbabel. These exiled Jews returned to Jerusalem and rebuilt the temple. Things were looking up. It seemed as if Israel was on the verge of becoming a blessed nation. But the people refused to turn away from their sins. Sacrifices ceased. The temple was not maintained. By the time this story begins, the condition of Jerusalem were deplorable. Again, so let me lay it down for you. I've had the opportunity of going to Jerusalem. And one of the things that's so unique about the city is it is a fortified city by a wall. So that's not really unique. There's gates all over it. Ways in and ways out. What's unique is the whole city is inside all these walls. And if at any point they wanted to drop the gates and it would close the city down, the city would be fortified. Everybody inside would be protected. Everybody on the outside couldn't get in. So if you can imagine, its first line of defense was what? The wall. Right? That's the reason the wall is there, isn't just a little pretty. And you look at what's saying in 587, the Babylonians come, they destroyed the city, they destroyed the walls. Why? Because if the walls are destroyed, then the city's not fortified. That means at any point, whenever they wanted to come into the city, they can come into the city. About 70 years later, they start to realize that the king of Persia says, you know what? Jerusalem's been utterly destroyed. If they want to go back to their broken down city, they can go to their broken down city. It also says in Proverbs, listen to this, like a city with broken down walls is a man who lacks self-control. So if we would just unpack that one verse, I can talk weeks and weeks and messages about what are the walls that we have in our lives. What are the areas in our lives that are fortified relationally, financially, spiritually? Things that we're going to do and things that we're not going to do because of the walls that we have. So when Nehemiah sees, hey, Jerusalem, the city that I love, the city of David, the temple that we would go and offer sacrifices, it's not being maintained. Well, why not? You mean there's not people there who are offering sacrifices? Why not? You see, because during the time that they had destroyed Jerusalem, the time that the Babylonians had come and taken a bunch of people away into Persia, they picked up other practices, not just serving God, but it was God and other things. And so, okay, why does it rain? It's because we offer sacrifices to the rain god. And why does our crops grow and burn up sometimes? Because we didn't offer enough sacrifices. So when we come back, as a people, we're going to worship Yahweh, God and God alone, and whatever else. Listen to Nehemiah chapter 1, verses 1 to 4. The words of Nehemiah, son of Hakaliah. In the month of Kislev, in the 20th year, while I was in the citadel of Susa, Hananiah, one of my brothers, came from Judah with some of the other men, and I questioned them about the Jewish remnant that survived the exile and about Jerusalem. They said to me, those who survived the exile are back in the province, are in great trouble and disgrace. The walls of Jerusalem are broken down, and its gates have been burned with fire. When I heard these things, I sat down and wept. For some days I mourned and fasted before the God of heaven. And stop there. You see, the first thing that I realize when I read this story of Nehemiah, when it comes to having a godly vision, it is always birthed first from a genuine concern. Alright? If it's just an irritation, if it's just a weird nuance, if it's just your pet peeve, it's probably not going to be birthed into a godly vision. If it's not the last thing that you think about before you go to bed, if it's not the first thing that gets you up out of bed in the morning going, how do we fix insert the problem? How do we do this? If you start talking to people, right, and every time they go, man, will you quit beating that dead horse? It's probably a genuine concern. Right? And what I love about Nehemiah is because, again, we look at most people, when they see an issue, usually there's a couple responses. Again, you can agree or disagree with me. Usually you see a problem, and when in the first group of people, you are the fixers. Right? Like you start fixing problems before anybody asks you to fix a problem. Right? We all know people like that. I usually break things, so I'm always trying to find people to help me fix them. But I've realized this past year that what usually happens with the fixers, if we're not careful, is we come to a doorway and we just start ripping open doorways without any concern of what's behind the door. We just see the problem, we run through the door, and many of the issues and problems and messes that we're in, you know what? We created them. Again, maybe not you. Maybe it's just me. And then I started to say, you know, I saw not just Jeff's acronym or Jeff's bumper sticker of the boldly. I saw it's not yours. He saw what he told me about. He's not boldly going through life. It was what he told me about. But not just the boldly going through life with no direction. It was these 4 letters, P-U-S-H. You go, Ben, that's not an acronym. That's actually a word. The word's push. Right? But how many doors do we go to? We come to the door and we start ripping doors open without having any concern what's on the other side because something's broken. We look at it and go, we're going to fix it, even if nobody asked me to fix it. They would wait if they would hurry up and they'd ask me to fix it. So what would it look like when we came to a doorway, instead of pulling, we push? He said, well, what is that? Pray until something happens. Alright? We just stand at a doorway and go, hey God, I feel like you've birthed this concern inside of me. I'm standing at the crossroads of what is and what could be. But before I just start ripping this doorway open, how about we have a conversation? Then there's another school of thought. These other people, they suffer from the paralysis of analysis. Do you know those kind of people? They want to vet everything. They want to have committees, and their committees have to have subcommittees. Then after the committees and the subcommittees report their findings, and they have to report it to a findings committee. Then the findings committee have to go through the whole process of vetting the whole thing. And you look around and you're going, man, it's been 6 months and we haven't done anything. We're like, well, we're getting really close to the submission of our analysis. Really? So you got the fixers and those that don't do anything because we're still studying. But Nehemiah, I think, offers a third option. You see, when he heard that the city of Jerusalem was destroyed, he was many miles away. He was a cupbearer to the king. Now, if it was me, because I'm a fixer, what I would have done is gone back to my little room and I would have started writing down. Now, how could I have this written request to the king? Right? Then I'm sure he's the king and he has friends in high places, and I'm sure that I can manipulate or coerce, not manipulate or coerce, use my power of persuasion to be able to accomplish what I feel that needs to be accomplished. Right? Because I'm a fixer, it's what I do. Then the mess that I get is because I'm ripping open doorways. But what does he do? He says, after he heard about the sorry state of affairs that is in Jerusalem, what does he do? He fasts and he prays. What does he do? The most difficult thing in the world. He waits. Isn't that not the worst thing in the world? Okay, if you don't think that's the worst thing in the world, next time you go to the grocery checkout lane, go to the longest one. Next time you go to the drive-thru at the bank, choose the longest one. Because I don't know if you're like me, you're like looking, and so I'm like slowly doing like the cart push, and I'm like, okay, they have way too much stuff. They have way too much stuff. That person doesn't seem like they know what they're doing. That person, no. Right? You go, this lane right here. And then when you get into the lane, right? Maybe this is just me. But as soon as I get, well, what do you do once you're in line? You go, all right, 3 people, all right. You're like, yeah. You're like, no, what is going on? Hey, come on. And then the worst thing in the world, right? As you're in line, you're like, can we please have a price check? I'm like, price check. No I got a problem, don't I? But the truth is, nobody likes waiting. Right? You go to Kings Island. You don't go just to stand in line. Why do you go to Kings Island? To ride the ride. That's the reason you buy the Fast Pass. But Nehemiah just sits down. And he fasts and he prays. Listen to what Isaiah says in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. But those who wait on the Lord, He will renew their strength. They will mount up on the wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not grow faint. I see four things. Number one is the renewal of strength. As we continue to get older, it seems like we continue to get weaker. Amen? If not, I guess as I get older, I know I'm weaker than I used to be, but I'm stronger than I'll ever be. Right? So we look at it and go, okay, I want the renewal of strength. The second thing that I hear in this, it says, you will mount up on the wings like eagles. One of my favorite things to do is to be out in the country and look up way into the sky and find a bald eagle. Do you know what I always see them doing when they're way up in the sky? They're just coasting. They're just doing this real... And they're in it seems like a stratosphere higher than every other bird. And they make it look easy. Have you ever noticed that? You look at the little hummingbird, right? And they're just... And they're just hovering there, right? And they're just trying, come on. Could you imagine the hummingbird trying to get up to where the eagle is? I tell you, I'm going to ruin you. I love watching the hummingbird, but I'm like, that young fella, he's just struggling. It doesn't say, Lord, make me like a hummingbird. It says, make me like an eagle. What does that mean? That God wants to take you to new heights and new accomplishments that you've never even dreamed of. And make it look easy. It says at the end in Ephesians that God wants to do immeasurably more than we can ask, dream, or imagine. I don't know about you, but I got a big imagination. There's a lot of things I want to accomplish. Anybody else? Right? And God says, I want you to imagine whatever it is you want to do. You go, okay, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. And imagine God saying, going, okay, that's awesome. I got so much more for you. Dream bigger. And you go, okay, dream bigger, I'll dream bigger. How about this? What about this? What about that? And He's like, now we're getting close. So I want to take you to new heights where you've never been before. The third thing that I see, it says, you will run and not grow weary. I've never seen anybody run happy. Okay, I lied. I've seen one person. That's because she saw me say, this is what I'm running at. I was on the Monon yesterday, and I thought some of these people were looking like they're going to kill me. That's maybe because I was on a bicycle and I go blowing by. I'm like, right? Is there anybody like to run? Because if so, we're going to pray for you. We're going to pray for you. Right? Running is hard. Right? If I told you today as a church, right, what we're going to do is for the next 20 minutes, we're all going to get up and we're going to group run. Yeah. Many of you would run to your cars and leave. What are you going to run for? He says you will run, and when you run, you won't grow weary. Because I know for some of us, when we walk, we're weary, right? It's just a struggle to walk. He says you will walk and not grow faint. Those are four things. That God wants to renew our strength. He wants us to take us to new heights, immeasurably more heights, and make it look easy. He wants us to run the race that's marked before us, and we're not going to wear out. That's a promise. That we're going to walk and not grow faint. And you go, yes, sign me up. What do I have to do? Just wait on the Lord. No, give me a tangible thing that I have to do. There you go. Read this. I want you to take time to pray. I want you to mourn for the sorry state of affairs that this world is in. Right? That the thing that God has birthed inside of you, that it will continue